And this is Jess.
With Snakes in My Boot, and we're here today to show you how to worm your snake like you would your cat or dog. This is a great yearly preventative measure because snakes can unfortunately even get parasites from frozen thawed mice.
Most commonly pinworms, which don't really harm your snake unless they get large. So doing this yearly worming helps prevent that. So
you can do it semi-annually or just annually. It really depends on what you want to do. But your supplies will be your panker. This can be bought from any type of big equine store like Cow Ranch, IFA.
As you can see, it's a horse dewormer.
Yeah, it's technically a horse dewormer, but this is actually what vets use for deworming snakes and all sorts of different kinds of animals. So, you'll first need this.
You can also get that on Pangea, Little Reptile, all sorts of places.
And disclaimer, we also do not recommend figuring out your own dosage if your snake is actually confirmed infected. You should bring your snake to a vet to get the proper dosage. This is just a formula that we were given by a vet to do yearly deworming that we're going to pass along to you in the comments.
And we use it for our hog noses. We don't know for sure of all the other types of species, but this is a general formula.
Yep. So your supplies will be the panker, of course. Some kind of little container to put your wormer in. Because
there's no way, get it out.
Yeah,
there's no way that you're going to be giving all of that wormer to your snake.
This is made for a horse. It's way too large for a snake.
Yes, way big. Maybe a big snake, but I still don't think you'd use the whole thing.
So you need your wormer, a syringe. We usually get kitten syringes from Amazon or some other type of site you could get them on. So they're small and the milliliter dosage.
And you'll want to, at least for hog noses, have the really tiny amount, like 0.05. I think it's 1 milliliter on there.
Yep.
So.
0.05 is the first dosage amount on the syringe. Now, next you need your scale. We use a food scale to measure our snake's weight. And this is very important for figuring out the formula and amount that your snake will need in wormer.
Lastly, you have a deli because you'll squeeze it out. You'll have to calculate based on the exact weight of your snake in order to get the right dosage. And you also do it in 2 dosages. The first one whenever you want, the second one 2 weeks later.
Yep. All right, this is Winifred. She's our subadult albino anaconda jaguar. She's het toffee and het axanthic, so she's a nice powerhouse girl that we're growing up. She's currently 113 grams. So that means that we need to give her 0.1 milliliters of panker wormer.
So, we already did the first dose. This is actually the second dose, 2 weeks later. And you can use, if your snake struggles, you can use a probe or things to open their mouth. So I prefer to have another assistant. Sometimes your snake can be wiggly, but you don't necessarily have to. It's just easier to have someone hold the snake, their back end, while you're worming. So here I'm gonna just get her mouth open.
Putting it in the corner of her mouth helps.
And you stick it down the throat some, and voila, wormed snake. It's pretty easy, especially for hog noses. But we worm our rosies and sambos as well. We use a probe with to open their mouth because it's not as easy. We do recommend that you at least wear a glove or things in case the snake musks, or in the case of the hoggies, some hoggies will bleed. That's a defensive measure that they do when they pretend to die and things. So if you get blood with your hog nose, it's normal. It's not something to freak out about. Anyway, so now she's all wormed and done for the year.
This is Flareon. She's our little sub-adult girl. She's already getting ready for her warmer, apparently.
Yeah, she's gulping. That's nice. So we don't usually do wormer on our baby snakes. It's only the sub-adults and ones that grow up and they eat other larger mice. Pinky mice don't really give parasites, but as you get to fuzzies and hoppers, then they eat fuzzy mice and hopper mice and adults, and those ones have parasites. I find that even if you get it from a reputable breeder, a snake, they can have parasites. Not usually deadly, but for example, we got a couple rosy boas from some really reputable breeders, and we do a fecal with all our quarantine snakes. Then apparently they had hookworms, and they had eaten live. If you have live mice feeders, you for sure want to worm. But because they had hookworms, which are more serious than pinworms, we ended up having to worm them with this wormer to get rid of the hookworms, and then they were perfectly healthy. Parasites like pinworms or hookworms can cause your snake to eat slower or maybe even go off food. So that's why we recommend doing these sort of preventative wormers.
Yep, it's really good if your hognose especially is on a hunger strike. It's definitely a good idea to worm them because it's actually quite likely that they could have parasites. A lot more common than people give it credit. So, thanks for joining us, and I hope you had a fun time learning and watching us worm our snakes. If you have any questions or comments, just let us know.
In the comments below, we love to hear from you.